Can you believe the incredible music career of Jimmy Buffett? The beach-loving, land shark-drinking, margarita-loving singer passed away on September 1st, 2023 at the age of 74. Buffett completely changed the world of music, developing a brand unlike anything the world has seen before. There were many who said Buffett couldn't sing or his music wasn't for them, but one thing is for sure, Buffett was the king of marketing and branding. Jimmy and his team knew how to develop himself into a marketing giant. In this video, we are going to dive deeper into the 8-time gold and 9-time platinum album singer. Buffett was born in Pascagoula, Mississippi, but spent most of his childhood in Alabama. Buffett's father worked for the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, and his grandfather was a steamship captain from Newfoundland. These two individuals had a love of boats, which would heavily influence Jimmy Buffett's lifestyle. Jimmy would grow up going to Catholic school, eventually enrolling into Auburn University, where he learned to play guitar and grew his love of music. His main reason behind learning the guitar was to get the attention of women. But due to women in music, Buffett had a challenging time in college and would end up failing out. Due to this, he would be forced to reevaluate his life and attend community college. Once getting his academics back on track, he would attend and graduate the University of Southern Mississippi. Luckily enough, Buffett would avoid the Vietnam War due to his college deferment and a failed physical exam. Jimmy Buffett would begin his career in New Orleans after finishing college. He would say that he became a lead man due to the fact he was the only person in his group that could get credit at music stores to get equipment. Unofficially becoming the lead singer of a band, his career would start out slow, where he would hold street performances for tourists around Decatur Street. Buffett loved performing for drunken crowds surrounding him. He would get a chance to play the Bayou Room on Bourbon Street, where crowds would love his country folk style of music. In 1970, he decided to pursue his country music career further by moving to Nashville, Tennessee. While living in Nashville pursuing his music career, he would also join Billboard as a journalist. Famously, he would be the first reporter to break the story about Flatt and Scruggs breaking up. However, his journalism career would not work out, as it was believed to be a conflict of interest with his music career. Specifically, after his first album, Down to Earth, was set to release, the album would release unsuccessfully in August 1970, only selling 324 copies. The music style on the album was country folk rock. Buffett would finish out his time in Nashville working as an opening act in the club Exit Inn, and a divorce with his then-wife, Margie Washachek. Needing a break from life, he would join fellow singer Jerry Jeff Walker on a trip to Key West. On their trip to southern Florida, they would go on a busking expedition. For those who don't know, busking is when a musician travels the streets for money playing. Buffett loved the atmosphere of Key West, where drinking, drugs, and sex were plentiful. He began to play professionally at the Chart Room Bar at the Pier House Motel, where he met his wife, Jane Slagsville. Buffett, needing money to provide, would be hired as the first mate on a yacht owned by Foster Talc. In 1973, Jimmy Buffett would get his next opportunity for a music career when he signed a recording contract with ABC Dunhill Records, where Buffett would be promoted and billed as Jim Croce's replacement after his untimely death. His second ever album release and first with ABC Dunhill would come in June 1973. A white sport coat and a pink crustacean, as the album would be called, was a mix of folk, country, and beach music. A mix of his own creation, pulling from his experiences in Key West. The biggest single from the album would be Why Don't We Get Drunk? This album would have a lot more success than his first, and he would be able to afford his first boat after the success of it. The island-style country music would become part of the brand of Jimmy Buffett, releasing his next album, Living and Dying in Three-Quarter Time, in February 1974. The big hits from this album would be A Pirate Looks at 40 and Come Monday. Come Monday would be his first single to place on the Billboard Hot 100 A1A. By 1975, his music career began to explode with popularity, which he credits his wife for. She was able to take their look from a folky, ripped jean, blue-collar man to a more beachy theme. He would also form the Coral Reefer Band during this time. By August 1975, the group would be opening for the Eagles. By January 1976, he would have his most popular and still talked about album, Changes in Latitudes, Changes in Attitudes. This album had some of his biggest hits, like the title track and his most iconic and memorable song, Margaritaville. This album helped lead to a tourism boom to Key West after its release. Everyone wanted to live the beach lifestyle of Jimmy Buffett. He would continue to release popular albums throughout the 70s with songs like Son of a Sailor, Fins, Volcano, and Cheeseburger in Paradise. These songs continued to help develop the branding of Jimmy Buffett, garnering more and more attention from fans. People wanted to become Jimmy Buffett. They wanted to live his lifestyle. Throughout the 80s, Buffett would continue his success with live performances and releasing the Songs You Know by Heart album, which was a compilation of his hits. This became his best-selling record of all time. Through the 80s and 90s, his popularity continued to grow. Buffett became a lifestyle rather than a musician. Famously, in 1996, Buffett wrote his song Jamaica Mistake, which described an incident in January 1996. This is when Buffett landed his plane Hemisphere Dancer in Jamaica. The plane would be shot up by the police there who thought he was a drug lord landing. Bono would also be on the plane during this time, making an extremely memorable moment in both their music careers. The plane can be found at Universal Orlando to this day. Jimmy Buffett would get his first award in 2003 when his duet with Alan Jackson, It's 5 O'Clock Somewhere, won Vocal Event of the Year. The song sat at the top of the Hot Country Songs charts for 8 weeks. Buffett finally received the critics' attention that he deserved. Throughout the 2000s, Buffett would continue his music success, specifically with several duets and writing credits. He would be nominated for a CMA for Event of the Year award for his song Hey Good Lookin' in 2007. By 2010, he'd be featured on Knee Deep with the Zac Brown Band, which would be a certified platinum single by 2017. Buffett would continue throughout the 2010s to make music and partner with other singers. He would also go on tour several times during this time period. As his fan base, who is now reaching retirement age, continued to grow his popularity, he became known as a must-see fun concert for those who grew up with his unique sound. Buffett's rock, country, calypso style became extremely popular with his fan base. His music became a lifestyle, a brand, and a marketing tool. Now that we have discussed his successful music career, let's wrap our heads around the marketing genius and business career of Jimmy Buffett. If you know anything about his career, is the fact that his money was made through marketing, business ventures, and investments. These business deals helped him amass a net worth of over $1 billion by the time of his death. If anyone took advantage of their fame and celebrity, it was Jimmy Buffett. He leaned into his tropical lifestyle and island escapism branding that helped his music career. He began to sell the concept to his fans. This would lead to the brand of Margaritaville. His first business venture would be a failure with a t-shirt shop in Gulf Shores. Though he would learn about this and try again in Key West, this time creating what was known as Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville in 1987. This would eventually become a very popular chain of restaurants. With brands like Margaritaville and Landshark Bar and Grill, they would find homes wherever there was a popular tourist location or beach town. He would also own the restaurant chain Cheeseburger in Paradise, however that would be sold for $11 million in 2012. By 2006, he would be looking for a beer opportunity after seeing how Corona sales jumped after partnering with Buffett. He understood that he could be more profitable if he leveraged his own brand with the marketing genius of music, which would lead to a partnership with Anheuser-Busch to create Landshark Lager, which became their popular summer beach-style beer. The business mind of Buffett would also expand into the world of casino gaming and sports. He opened a Jimmy Buffett Margaritaville Resort and Casino in 2013 in Atlantic City, New Jersey. In the world of sports, the Dolphins Stadium for 8 months would be named Landshark Stadium, and he would eventually become part owner of 2 minor league baseball teams. Buffett would also utilize his Margaritaville branding for hotels, resorts, long-term vacation rentals, and retirement communities. All of these locations would be chosen based on the vacation popularity of the destinations. He would also get into the business of cannabis in 2018, partnering with the Wrigley company called Coral Reefer. But probably most famously and least known is the fact Jimmy Buffett was an investor and shareholder in Berkshire Hathaway. Though no relation with Warren Buffett, they would call each other Cousin Jimmy or Uncle Warren. Their friendship grew throughout the 1980s, which helped contribute to Jimmy's trust and investment in the company. Jimmy's wealth did not come from his record or album sales, it came from his branding and marketing. His companies he established, merchandise sales, and investments would lead to his wealth. Besides his incredible business mind and music, Buffett also did a lot of good for the world. He was huge into environmental conservation, and in 1981 he created the Save the Manatee Club. He would also perform several charity concerts, including Deepwater Horizon oil spill, where he famously blamed BP in his lyrics. He also was big for hurricane and earthquake charities as well. Overall, Jimmy lived his life like his music. He was an incredible person and musician and will be missed. Did you know this music history? Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and follow. Believable Truths.